Pajero! Oh, you beauty! What a head, son! What a head!
Yes, lads, welcome back to Onto the Ball. I'm your host, Scott Nichol, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Travis Morgan. And then we've got a very special guest for this biggest game of the season. Certainly for him, probably is for us. Listen, Arsenal are top of the league. We've got them at home on Sunday. So we've got Josh of True Gooner. He's very kindly agreed to come on the stream. He has got nearly 4,000 subscribers. So he's a very busy man, and he's give us an hour to come on with us and give his opinion and tell us how much he's absolutely shitting it about coming to Anfield. So I am absolutely buzzing for this one. Josh, how you doing, mate? You okay?
Mate, I'm buzzing, man. Hey, listen, thank you so much for the invitation. Big up to you and Travis as well. Great work you guys do. And yeah, I'm really happy to be here, man. I'm looking forward to this.
Likewise.
Sure, mate. How are you, Trav? You okay?
Yeah, really good, mate. Broke up. Nice few days off. So just made myself some pasta and meatballs and I'm ready to go, mate. That's it. I'm
Not
good.
much sleep last night because you were so excited about a rare Man United win.
We needed that victory, to be fair. Now I was buzzing. Like I was a bit fearful before the game. I thought we was going to drop some points, but no, we got through it. So I was pleased. I was pleased with the result.
Nice one. Listen, we're going to get straight into it. We've got 5 people watching. Going to see what's happening in the comments just now. It's all the True Gooner boys. They're all in. Dan from Two Blues, come on the pool. Delorigin is in. How you doing, mate? You okay? Let's see. Dalaval's in. How you doing, Dalaval? You okay? Can I join the live stream? Not this one, buddy. Honestly, I'll have you on again soon. Don't worry. Josh, you come on our channel. I'm going to let you kick off. I watched a bit of Luca's his video this morning. Big up to Luca AFC.
Yeah.
Love his work as well. And he was outside Anfield today doing a video, and he said, "This isn't going to be an easy game." And for a moment, I was like, "Is he mugging Liverpool off? It's not going to be an easy game." And that's the kind of thing I'd say if we were playing Bournemouth bottom of the league. Like Bournemouth have picked up some points, they've scored some goals. It's not going to be an easy game. I know some people expect it to be, but what's your feeling coming to Anfield? You must be thinking this is the best chance you've had in a decade of going away with a positive result.
100%, man. Look, I'm very confident, obviously, mainly because of the fact that I'm top of the league right now, and you've been very poor this season as well. But we got to the record, at Anfield. Last time we beat you at Anfield was 2012. We beat you 2-0, and that, I think I was about 5 years old when that happened. So we drew a win at Anfield, man. And this season, I know we beat you at the Emirates 3-2. What a game that was. But again, man, you've been really poor this season. And I did ask a few Liverpool fans this. I was like, what's happening from you challenging for the Premier League, winning the Champions League a few years ago, to now challenging? Like, this is what me and you said. It's kind of like Arsenal, Liverpool's top places. You know, you're the ones fighting for top 4 now, like we were. And we're the ones challenging Man City for the league title. So it's kind of mad, and I'm very confident, man. I'll be honest, I'm very confident because obviously your form and we're flying right now, and this is a different Arsenal in my opinion, man. This is not an Arsenal where people come out anymore, because you know we had many rival fans say, you know, Arsenal were banter club, banter FC when we finished 8th and getting knocked out by Unai Emery in Europa League and all that stuff. But this is a new Arsenal because we go to these places now, and the prime example was against Tottenham, right? We hadn't beat Tottenham away since 2013. We went there away and we battered them.
Battered them.
Yeah.
Oh, you dominated that game.
Absolutely dominated them. Yeah. And I know we played against Man City this season and we got, 3-1 at the Emirates, demolished. But that's the only game, that's the only team that's really gave us, a beating this season. I can't think of anyone else who actually gave us a big beating. But yeah, man, look, honestly, you got some great players as well. Cody Gakpo, I'm afraid of him, mainly because we played against PSV in Europa League, and we got battered by PSV in Europa League. It was 2-0, should have been about 5-0. He absolutely ripped us apart. He ripped Ben White apart. He ripped Saliba apart. I'm really afraid of him. I watched your game as well, Liverpool and Chelsea. That was one of the most boring games I've ever watched, I'll be honest.
Bad, wasn't it?
It was so bad. But he didn't start, did he? He came off the bench.
Rested. It was a mad 11.
It was Salah as well. Salah was on the bench. And I was like, he's resting them for the big game against Arsenal. But I was like, you need to beat Chelsea. So I was very confused about that. But he's one player I'm really fearing of. And I don't know if, you and Travis, if you rate Darwin Núñez, but I actually rate the guy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do.
I just think he's obviously end product's a bit, it's not that great, is it? But I actually rate the guy, and he obviously scored against us at the Emirates, and it's number one I'm afraid of. So, and obviously
He's the first name I look for now, Josh, on the Liverpool team sheet.
Yeah,
that means I must rate him.
Yeah, and I look at players like Diogo Jota as well. Jota always loves a game against Arsenal. Every single time he turns up. Same with Firmino as well. Loves a game against Arsenal. So I'm confident going into this game, but at the same time, I'm thinking. I look at that record and I think Anfield's a tough place to go to, man. Very, very tough. I think the only team beat you this season is Leeds, wasn't it, at Anfield? And that was a 2-1 game. And yeah, it's one of those places where Arsenal just don't turn up. You go back to previous seasons, you backed us 5-1. You backed us 4-0 last season. And we was on the better form last season. You still backed us 4-0. So it was crazy, man. But I'm you know what? I'm confident. We're flying right now, top of the league. And I do think we are going to scrape a win against you.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
play. I mean, like you say, if you look at the form book, it looks on paper like it should be quite a comfortable win for Arsenal, but it must drive you crazy and you, Trav, when we patterned you up 7-0. When it's at Anfield, like it is crazy. It's bipolar. It makes no sense. Like, I was just going to say, ask Trav how he got on at Anfield. Ask Man City how they got on at Anfield.
Didn't you beat Napoli as well at Anfield?
Beat Napoli 2-0 at Anfield. Beat Man City 1-0 at Anfield. Beat Newcastle at Anfield. Now Arsenal are coming to Anfield. It's just a different game. And me and Trav have been talking quite a lot the last couple of streams about the potential that Jurgen Klopp might have lost the dressing room. And it is maybe a sad or realistic fact we have to look at, because pride might kick in when they're playing a Man U. I mean, look at the performance against Man U, and then the next game we lose at Bournemouth. So when you're playing a direct rival or a big rival, pride kicks in, and the players might up it, and they can still do what they can always do. And basically, that's all I'm basing it on Sunday, is that I think we'll beat yous, and I think it'll be a shock, and then we'll go and get beat by Wrexham in the next game. Like, that is how bipolar and crazy this Liverpool squad is at the minute. And Jurgen Klopp must be pulling his hair out. But I have seen some encouraging pictures today that Thiago's back full training. Diaz is in his second week of full training. I don't think he was even on the bench against Chelsea. I don't know whether they're treating him with kid gloves, easing him in after it all went wrong in December, and it set him back another 3 months. But if he was fit now and he's got a second week of full training, even if we started him on the left and try to get 60 minutes out of him, it gives me confidence just to see him on the park again. You've mentioned Jota. Jota got some negative comments on Tuesday night against Chelsea. I thought he was one of our best players. I done a stream with Trav. I thought Jota and Núñez were the two looking most likely to get something positive out of the game. The rest were pretty much trash. And then you've obviously got Núñez, Gakpo. You think Gakpo is definitely going to start. Salah's going to come back in. But Trav, you had some comments like on Tuesday night that it wasn't so much resting them for Arsenal. You think Jurgen Klopp was sending a message out to the squad that no one's safe?
Yeah, most definitely. I think it's going to be interesting to see what team he actually picks. Like you said, you'd expect a lot of those boys who didn't play on Tuesday to come back in, but it just depends what sort of relationship he's got with those players at the minute, because I think there's some fragility there in the dressing room. I think some of the players might have fallen out with Klopp a little bit over certain things. Like you said, you see some of the form of some of the players. It's very indifferent at the moment. And like Josh is saying, I'm alluding to what he's saying, you don't know what Liverpool's going to turn up. It could be a scary Liverpool that goes all guns blazing, comes out first 20 minutes, pressing all over the pitch, making it difficult for Arsenal. I think that's what they've got to do. I don't think there's any other way of trying to beat this Arsenal team. I think you have to score first in the game as well. I'm just thinking back to the game at Old Trafford, and I know it's a long time ago. I think this is a different Arsenal this year in terms of the mentality and responding to setbacks. They certainly respond well to setbacks. After the loss to City, after the loss to us, they've managed to go on quite long runs, and Everton as well, and they've put some runs together. So I think this is a different Arsenal. But I think if you are to beat Arsenal, if you look at the teams that have beaten them, you have to score first against them, because if you let them dictate the tempo of the game and get in control of the game and score first, you're in for a long day. You don't want them keeping the ball off you at all. So I think it's imperative that if Liverpool are going to win the game, they need to come out the traps quickly, unsettle, get the crowd going, because that's the only way I think they stand a chance. Because I think in terms of individual battles, and you look all over the pitch, you look at Saka versus Robertson, you look at Martinelli or Trossard on the other side against Trent, who's very out of form. The midfield as well is an absolute mismatch with Partey, Xhaka and Odegaard against what looks like it's going to be Fabinho, Henderson and one other, with Basecic's injury. It could be the Elliot. That, to me, that on paper Arsenal dominate that area all game. The only vulnerability Arsenal probably have got is if Saliba's not playing and Rob Holding plays. I think that worries Arsenal fans a little bit with that change, that enforced change through injury. But like you said, it all depends on the first goal for me. I'm siding slightly with Arsenal. I know Arsenal's form isn't great. Liverpool are certainly capable of winning the game, but I think if Arsenal can get through the first 15, 20 minutes without conceding a goal, keep it tight, and then come into the game and just gradually grow, then I think they'll probably win by a couple of goals, to be fair. But it's going to be an interesting game.
A couple of goals.
Oh, they're more than capable,
Travis,
mate.
Listen, you know better than anyone the last couple of weeks to underestimate Anfield at your peril.
Oh, mate. I know what Anfield's like, mate. I got put in the washing machine, mate. I know what it's like, bro.
That Eric Ten Hag probably wishes he watched, because we warned him not to underestimate Anfield. We warned him to drop an extra midfielder in there and go abandon his 4-2-3-1. He didn't watch our stream. He done his own thing and he got absolutely slapped about. But at the same time, listen, that's what's great about these pre-match previews, isn't it, Josh? Because you can say this, you can say that, you can predict this, you can talk starting lineups, you can talk form, you can talk home, you can talk away. And then if you watch the game and it'll be a great affair, you go back and watch this stream and see what you said and what you predict. That's what makes football all about it. So, you know, it's great. But what's the update on Saliba, Josh? I'm obviously hoping he's out, because there's no return, is it? I watched one of your stream. There's no return date. Does that mean he's indefinitely out?
100% out, and we've got to go Rob Holding. Now, the finish with Rob Holding, right? This guy's he's obviously not good enough for Arsenal Football Club, right? And he had a good game against when we battered Leeds 4-1. We beat Crystal Palace, but I'm worried when he comes up against Nunes. You know, even Jota, Gakpo's going to absolutely rip the guy apart. You know, the guy's too slow, man. Like, he can do a job when he comes off the bench for the last 20 minutes and see out a game, but when we start in the game. And when as Travis said, Liverpool have got to start quick, because if you get the first goal, then I'm be very right. But if we get the first goal, I think we're going to go on and win the game. But yeah, Saliba's out, man. Look, he's been absolutely outstanding. He's a Rolls Royce this season. One of our best defenders we've had in quite a while, and he has a fantastic partnership with Gabriel. So when that sort of gets ruined with Holding and Gabriel, it makes me very less, confident that we can get something out of the game. But isn't the same for Van Dijk, though? Is he injured as well?
No, he was ill apparently against Chelsea.
Oh,
so as far as I know, there's no danger. But that's nothing to shout about at the minute. Van Dijk's probably been worse than any defender. And I can't believe I'm saying that after the last 4 years, but he is.
He's just fell off.
It's crazy.
Don't know. He's fell off the face of the earth. It looks a bit like a confidence crisis. Like, he doesn't put his body on the line where it counts anymore. I don't know if he's maybe not got the confidence in his legs or his knees anymore. I don't know what it is, but yeah, he's a shadow of the player. But have you got any other injury concerns elsewhere? This is the first time, Josh, probably in 15 years, so probably your whole life, that I can name the Arsenal 11. Honestly, for the last 15 years, all these El Nenis and Alex Iwobis and Smith Rose, and I ain't got a clue. But now I can name the 11.
Yeah, I mean, this is what Arteta's sort of like inherited. He plays the same team every single week. When I do my previews and predicted lineups, there's no point in me doing a predicted lineup anymore, because I know he's going to go for the same players every single week. That's how much we developed. Because back in the day, right, when Arteta first came in, we had to play Mustafi, centre back, and we had to play people like Mkhitaryan and, as you said, El Neni and all that. And he was rotating week in, week out, because they just weren't good enough, right? He's trying to find the best 11, and then in the end, some of the young players came in, like Saka, Smith Rowe. They was dominating for us, And ever since then, you know, he brought in his own signings as well, Arteta, which, listen, I was a massive critic of Arteta when he first got the job. I was like, why are we giving a guy with no experience the job of sacking Emery, right? There's better managers available, in my opinion. But we went on Arteta. We went on the process, like what Liverpool did with Klopp, you know, it took them 5 years or whatever. We tried to copy you or whatever. That's what some of the fans say. But, yeah, and, you know, he came into, obviously, the squad and brought players like Ramsdale in. Again, another one, I was like, Ramsdale, this guy's been relegated every single club he's been.
Question marks, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like, what? I mean, I was like 35 million as well. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a joke. But no, he's been one of the best goalkeepers this season, in my opinion. Right? And he's came back clean sheets as Alisson, I'm pretty sure, as well, isn't he? So, even Ben White.
Leno was all right as well, wasn't it? So it's one of them, like, your keeper is all right. Why are you trying to fix that?
Leno was world class. And Ramsdale came in, took him out of the squads because he's better than him. And now he's been our first choice goalkeeper. So, you know, Ben White, we splashed 50 million on the guy. And his first season was shocking. He's playing centre back. Arteta converts him to a right back, and he's been one of the best right backs this season. It's crazy. Like some of the players that he's brought in, and you know, fair play to him and fair play to Edu. And as I said, you know, he knows his level now. You know, and we've got an identity. For once, we've got an identity, because last season when we finished fifth, we finished 8th and 8th. We had nothing, but now we know the full 11. We know where we're going as well as a football club, and yeah, it's good signs at the moment, man. But yeah, I agree, man. Definitely.
And he's just bringing in gems like Trossard just to complement the team in the squad, isn't he? Absolutely sick that he's hit the ground running. And do you think he'll get a start Saturday?
This is
Sunday, sorry.
I can't believe it's first time ever. We got a bit of like Arteta's got a selection headache because we don't know who we can play in attack now. Everyone's firing. We've got Jesus back, remember? Right? Trossard's been firing. Martinelli's been on absolute superb form, right? And they've got Saka there. So we don't know what front three we're going to go with. I reckon Arteta is going to go with the more experience. I reckon Martinelli will be dropped. I don't know if you're going to play Trent right back. I hope you do. Fingers crossed you do because, great. So
I'll get onto that, but I don't think we will.
We saw what happened with Ali Emirates. Martinelli absolutely tore him a new one. But, if you go to Trossard, I mean, the guys came in and he's got more assists than he did have at Brighton combined. So he's came in straight away. 7 assists in like 5 matches. Really, really superb player, and obviously Jesus is amazing to have back. You know, he's signing from City. Obviously, he's got that winning experience of winning the Premier League from City. Same with Zinchenko as well. That's another thing that Arteta did. He brought in winner mentality, which is probably where we are today. But yeah, and obviously Saka's star boy. You know, everyone knows about Saka. So yeah, man, we got a little bit of a selection headache up front. That's for sure.
What do you think he'll go with? A trusted front three, surely.
I reckon
Saka, Jesus, Martinelli.
Yeah, I reckon that. Yeah, I reckon Trossard will be on the bench, unfortunately. What I'll go with is I'll go Trossard, Jesus and Saka, and I'll bench Martinelli. But I reckon Arteta's going to go with the main 3.
Trav, how jealous are you of where Arsenal are now? Because that was supposed to be you and Ten Hag getting it back up there. Arsenal have leapfrogged everyone.
Yeah,
but to be fair, Josh, and I'm not slating because I wish our owners would do this, but to be fair, Kroenke splashed the cash though, wasn't he? He's really backed Arteta.
Mate, we spent over 400 million the past 3 years. It's crazy. So yeah, definitely backs him.
Yeah, I think if you look at it, I mean, you're looking at 130 million a year. I mean, I don't think they've overspent. To be honest, I think that's about the going rate. I think if you look at the other clubs, like even as low as Everton, they probably spend that in a summer, 100 million, 130. Aston Villa, they was buying Coutinho and players like that. They've spent more or less the same. I wouldn't put Arsenal in the sort of extortionate spend like a Man City or a Chelsea or Man United, even in that bracket. I think we mentioned this on another stream. I think his recruitment's been excellent. I don't think he's got one signing wrong, to be honest, Arteta, since he's been there. And I think not just only the signings that he's made, the departures that he's made as well, getting rid of Aubameyang and Lacazette and characters like that out of the dressing room has been amazing. And I think when I relate it to United, I think Ramsdale was the prime example. We're in a similar situation at the moment with David De Gea in terms of like Bernd Leno. Like you said, he was a very good keeper, but I think Ramsdale's taken you up a level just with the distribution alone. I think he starts a lot of attacks instantly, especially with the counter attack and the variation of his distribution as well. He can go short, but some of his long passing as well this year has been excellent. I've seen him hit like 60, 70-yard passes on the half volley straight into Saka and stuff, and it just gets the team going. So I think he's done an excellent job. I've got a little bit of a soft spot for Arteta anyway, because I think anybody who comes from the school of Pep, you just know he's going to be a fantastic coach. I think he's always had that. I think what he's improved with over the years is like sort of his management level and his management skill, like how to deal with setbacks, how to rotate the squad. I think you've added depth over your squad over a 3-year period. And I think you can see the likes of like Tierney on the bench, Smith Rowe on the bench, Tom Yasu. You've added that depth, which is going back to your question, Scott, how jealous am I? I'm very jealous because obviously we're in year 1 of our rebuild. So in year 3, I'd like to think we're in a similar position in terms of how the squad dynamic looks. Because I think Arsenal's squad is a little bit smaller than Man U's, but it's got a lot more quality. Like if somebody goes out, you know, somebody of quality is going in. Like we've not even mentioned Fabio Vieira as well, who's not made that many appearances, but when he's come in, he's done pretty well. So I'd like
Tierney
to
as well.
Yeah, Tierney. The list is endless. So I'd like to think in 3 years we are in that position that it is the blueprint. Like Josh said, they've more or less copied what Liverpool did in Klopp's first 3 years, and I think I'd like to think we can emulate that as well.
I bloody hope you don't. But listen, Klopp has got it all to do again if it goes the way that we hope it does, and hopefully what Klopp's been promised, the backing to build a second successful side. But that's all to be debated and poddied out in the summer transfer window. Josh, who's the first player you look at in the Arsenal team? Who's the first player? Like I just said, Núñez. I'll look if Núñez is playing, I'm like, let's go. Who's your go-to guy?
It's got to be Saka, man. It has to be Saka for me. The guy is unbelievable. You know, he's he gone past 20 yet? How old is he?
He's 21, maybe.
He's 21. My man's always he's in the England squad as well. He's there all the time now. You know, he's he's always in that starting 11. So yeah, mate, the guys came in, and you know what? And I give credit to our ex-manager Unai Emery for this, because he was the one who actually who scouted him and called him up and gave him his debut in the Europa League. And it was mad. Like just seeing this guy develop into the player he is now, you know, especially when he comes from the youth academy as well. It's so nice to see. And we just got to make sure we sign down as a new contract, man, because many clubs are going to be in for this guy, man. He's absolutely world class, and this season, and he turns up for the big games, man. I mean, he scored against every single big six this season, I'm pretty sure. So that's a thing to keep in mind as well. But yeah, we just need to make sure we tie him down to a contract ASAP, because the guy's world class. And
he will stay, won't he? Jesus, Arsenal. Why would he want to leave now? Big bumper contract. Has he not just signed one, Josh? Saka?
No, it's not been confirmed yet, but it's very, very close. But it's not been confirmed from Arsenal yet. But he's going to sign pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, so Liverpool for Sunday, I don't know what way Jurgen Klopp's going to go. He's literally threw a curveball with that Chelsea game, with that starting lineup. He absolutely bamboozled everyone. But to be fair, I said after Núñez and Jota, there weren't much to shout about. But the defence done all right, to be fair. Gomez done all right at right back. I could see it a bit of a surprise that he is brought in for a bit of solidity, and Trent is kept on the bench. Van Dijk will come back in. He'll partner Kanate, Robertson. But then it's the big midfield conundrum. It's just a midfield of absolute rotten eggs, fermented eggs. I can only imagine that Henderson's going to play. I've got a feeling he'll do something weird. If Thiago is back fit and he can start again, get 60 minutes out of him, which is not good when I'm banking on Thiago 60 minutes and Luis Diaz 60 minutes, just back from long-term injuries. But I think you could maybe go Henderson in the number 6, Thiago on the left, and Harvey Elliott on the right. And you must be rubbing your hands together at the thought of that up against Xhaka, Partey, and Odegaard. And listen, I don't know how it's come to this. My beloved Liverpool, we were the best team in the world not more than 2-3 years ago, and it is just decayed and gone rotten pretty much in the space of 12 months. But it is what it is, and we are where we are. But I was watching your stream earlier. No, sorry, it was Lucas, and he had a guest on, and he was like, "Yeah, I predict." He was a Liverpool fan. And he's like, "I think we're going to get beat." And I said, "You got to fix up. We're at Anfield. The crowd will absolutely riot if we get turned over at Anfield by the champions elect. Let's call them that. Does that make you feel good, Josh?
Yes.
Champions elect.
Mate,
Why
I
not? But
haven't heard that in my life, by the way, because last time we won it was 2003, so it's kind of bad.
Josh, do you know what year this Liverpool top's from?
Well, mate, that looks old, man. Is that 1998?
1992.
Ooh.
Do you know what? I've wore it. There's a reason why I wore it tonight. We only wore it against 2 clubs. One of them was Southampton, and one of them was Arsenal. 1992.
You beat Arsenal.
I think we did beat you, actually. I think it might have been a Robbie Fowler goal.
Robbie Fowler, yeah.
At Highbury. But yeah, but Liverpool, I keep harping back to being at Anfield. If we can smash Man United by 7-0, who are apparently on the way to being back, not bantering, Trav, but Gakpo could be firing, Salah could be firing, Jota could be firing, Nunes could be firing, Diaz could be back. If the front 3 or 4, if we go try to mix up a bit and go 4-2-3-1, can be firing, or even a 4-2-4 like we did against Man City, then anything is possible. But I am going to predict a Liverpool win. And I know I can't see anyone in the chat mentioning a Liverpool win. Thom's there saying Liverpool 2, Arsenal 4. Thoughts? But I'm going to hit early with a prediction. And I'm going to put the predictions in the description for us to look back on 6:30 on Sunday. I'm going to predict that Liverpool are going to win the reverse at the Emirates. We're going to beat you 3-2.
Wow.
Yeah, I've just got this feeling. I've got this feeling, and I don't know if that'll start some sort of capitulation of you guys losing the lead. If you then lose against Man City, I don't know if it will or not. I think you might compose yourself. You might just write it off because it's at Anfield, and with Liverpool have beat Man U, beat Man City, beat Newcastle, beat all the top 4. Still got Spurs to play at Anfield. We'll probably smash them as well because they're crap. But yeah, I'm going to go 3-2 to Liverpool. Josh, what are you going to say?
Yeah, go on, Josh.
For me, right? Yeah, as I said at the start, I think we're going to scrape the win. But yeah, I'm not underestimating Liverpool. You know, I see many Arsenal fans say, you know, we're going to go there. Liverpool been, you know, crap this season. We're going to go there and it's be a walk in the park. I don't think it is. I reckon it's be a very, very good game. For me, I'm going to go with, you know, a 2-1 Arsenal win. You know, I think we're going to scrape it. I think we're going to score first, which will be the key to the game, in my opinion. And we're going to go on, and I reckon you're equalising, and we're going to win it in the end, 2-1 to the Gunners.
Trav?
Do you know what? Tom's prediction's actually not that bad because it has Liverpool's home form is brilliant, but it does have the potential to be a high-scoring game. I mean, Liverpool, if they're not defending right, they give teams chances. And Arsenal normally concede at Anfield as well. So it's like you said, it does have that potential to be a high-scoring game. Like I said, I think Arsenal will score first in the game, but I do think Liverpool will score. So I'm gonna go 3-1 Arsenal, which again is a big scoreline, really. But I just think Arsenal are just so much better than Liverpool. I might have egg on my face. I don't know. Like I said.
3-1 sounds a lot different to 2-1, doesn't it? 2-1 sounds like a tight affair. 3-1 sounds like a bit of a slapping. And it's only difference is only one goal.
I just see Arsenal's midfield. If they can get through the first 15 minutes of the game and start dominating the game and coming into the game and just sustaining attacks like they normally do, and Odegaard starts getting on the ball and that, I just don't see how Liverpool's midfield lives with that over 90 minutes. So it's going to be interesting. I am going to go for an Arsenal win. I'm going to go 3-1. But in a weird way, like I said, if Liverpool win, you just also wouldn't be surprised. I can't wait for the game. It's going to be amazing. Hopefully we've done the business at home to Everton. I can just put my feet up with a brew and just watch it all unfold, mate. That's it.
You've both mentioned about the first goal. And I can tell you from a Liverpool insider, if Arsenal get the first goal, we will not win. I can guarantee you we'll probably our confidence is not capable of going a goal down at the minute. We have to score first. It really is as simple as that. So Josh, take it from me. If you go 1-0 up at any point in the game, put your feet up. It'll be the 3 points, and the title charge is on.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what we did at the Emirates. You know, I think we scored in the first minute, didn't we, from Martinelli? Yeah. And you lot were sleeping for that. And in the end, it went 1-1, and I think we made it 2-1, and it was 2-2, and we won it 3-2 in the end. But yeah, if we get the first goal, man, we've seen it this season from us. You know, we for once we actually kill games off as well. We don't sit back and like we did in previous years, and then we bottle it. We actually kill the games off. So yeah, I agree, man.
Do you know what makes it interesting as well? Do you know, because Arsenal have got an 8-point lead, but if Man City win the game and it goes to 5, what makes it interesting is because you've still got to play City, a draw might not be enough. Do you know what I mean? Like normally a draw at Anfield's an excellent result. Any of the big teams going to Anfield and getting a point normally is great. But if you draw this game and City win the game in hand and then beat you, they're ahead of you on goal difference. It's just that tight. There's no margin for error. So I don't think Arsenal can afford to sit back in this game either. I'm not saying obviously they're going to have a game plan. They're going to be calculated about the way that they approach the game. But let's say it's 1 each with 20 minutes to go and Southampton have already been beaten by City the day before. I think you got to go and try and win the game. I don't think Arteta is going to be looking for a point as being a good point at Anfield. So again, that makes it even more interesting. I think both sides have just got to go and try and win the game on Sunday. That's what makes it more interesting for me, that both sides have got to win.
At what point could it become a bit of a game where Arteta starts thinking it's the run-in for the league? And I'm thinking obviously back to Brendan Rodgers, Liverpool 13-14. We could have and should have played for a draw at home to Chelsea. Chelsea beat us 2-0. Gerrard slipped. The rest is history. And I can't believe I just brought it up on my own podcast. But at what point does Arteta start trying to box clever and start thinking a point at Liverpool would be a good point? And he starts being a bit reserved, or maybe loses his bottle in his team selection. And not only that, the players, it's a young squad. At what point are they like, I can't believe we're going to win the fans the first league in 15 years? Is that going to play a factor at all? Because it doesn't look like it to me. They just look relentless, like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I 100% agree. But I think it's got to be a must-win game, because we all know how good Man City are, and we've seen how good Man City can be the past 5 years, you know. But what I will say is we got, this is a must-win game, and this is a very tough game. We got to win this, right? And then because we've got games coming up, we've got Newcastle away. You know, they're picking up their form, and that'll be a very tough game. We saw one last season against Newcastle. We find us to get top 4. They beat us. They actually battered us 2-0.
2-0,
yeah. And obviously, as Travis said, you know, we've got to play Man City again, and this time it's at the Etihad, and we ain't one of the Etihad for God knows how long. And what happened at the Emirates, you know, we couldn't even beat Man City at home. We couldn't even beat them in the FA Cup, and they parked the bus in the FA Cup match. We're still going to beat them, so it's crazy. But yeah, we've got Man City. Even a team like Brighton, right? We struggle against Brighton, and they're flying right now as well. So yeah, we cannot be afforded to drop points, especially when you got Man City catching you as well. If you want to win this league title, we have to win these big games away at Anfield, in my opinion.
And Arteta, it's not in his nature to shut up shop. I think even when he is leading narrowly in games, I don't think I've ever seen him say, oh, I'm going to chuck on a couple of defenders, or I'm going to counter attack like that to that degree. Like some managers just blatantly do it, where they're like, I want the opposition to have the ball. We're going to sit off, let them have it, and this is how we're going to play. Arteta don't do that. It's pure domination. It's just so similar to Pep in a lot of ways.
But that's what Brendan Rodgers done, remember, Trav? Look how that backfired.
I know.
They called it naive after the event.
I know, but I don't think Arsenal have got the players to do that either. I don't think they've got any... Well, they've certainly not got the players in the starting lineup that are going to say, right, we're going to sit back. They're just all ballers. They just all want to play ball. Like, no matter what the score is, they just want to take the game to the opposition all the time. And they manage the game through attacking and having a lot of possession. Like, you notice when they slap teams at home, like Palace the other week, 4-1 and stuff like that, they just want to score. They just want to keep scoring. But they do it in a sensible way as well. But as I've said, I think even if Arsenal are winning the game, they'll just look to score more goals. That's how this team plays.
Josh, what's the feeling in the fan base? And I keep turning everything around back to Liverpool, but only from my own experience. Like 13-14, when Gerrard slipped, the fan base still couldn't believe it was happening. It's still going to go wrong. When City picked us to the league by 1 point, 2 out of 3 years, even when we were like 20 points ahead in 1920, it was still like, I don't fully believe we're going to win the league. Is the Arsenal fan base like that? Can you really believe it? Or is it, you're going to win the league?
We are all believing. It's crazy because I think the last time, obviously, as I said, the last time we won the league was over 20 years ago. And I wasn't even born then. So we're all buzzing. And maybe we're getting too overexcited because, look, this team has done it in the past where we have, when it pressured on Arsenal to deliver, you know, even to get top 4 last season, we bottled it, man. And we've done it year in, year out. You know, ever since we moved to the Emirates, we bottle it, you know, and we bottled the Champions League final against Barcelona, right? It's just the little things we bottle all the time. So it's kind of like we're all excited, you know, because we haven't been in this position, you know, since like 2016 when Leicester City won the league. And we're trying to, you know, finish second that season. We're trying to challenge for them for that one. But yeah, we're very confident, you know, we're very confident because we're seeing how this Arsenal side can play this season, and we're seeing some of the, you know, some prime example how we demolish teams now. Palace, Leeds, you know, Emirates. I think the only team to beat us at the Emirates this season was Man City. So yeah. That's been superb at the Emirates. Away from home, it's been a lot better than previous seasons, that's for sure. And obviously, you know, Man United beat us 3-1, Old Trafford, and I think Everton beat us as well. But other than that, man, we've been ruthless. You know, we've been relentless, and yeah, everyone's excited, everyone's ready because we do fully believe that we can go, you know, 8 points clear, and it's in our hands, man. It's in our hands, and if you bottle it, then it's going to be peak. But yeah, I think we're going to go all the way, man, and I think we are going to win the league this season.
Is it a once in a lifetime type feeling, or is the fan base, this is us now competing for the next 5 years?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. I mean, I would like to think that, you know, I would like to think we have to go on and compete now. You know, we can't win the league and then next season we can finish 5th. Like, that's for me not good enough. We have to kick on now, and we're going to be in the Champions League next season as well. First time being in the Champions League since 2016, right? And that's going to be a big step up. You know, some of the teams, they're scary in that Champions League, mate, all right? I mean, look at Real Madrid, look at Napoli this season. You know, Bayern Munich, even without Lewandowski, they're still relentless. So it's going to be crazy next season in the Champions League. Look, I'm looking forward to it because we've been in the Europa League for 6 years, and I'm sick of that Europa League competition now. But so it's going to feel good to be Champions League, but it's going to be no walk in the park. And I think, yeah, we have to kick on. We have to now. If we do win the league, we should now go and get the elite players like Declan Rice from West Ham. You know, I know you're in for Jude Bellingham, right? But why should Arsenal be in for Jude Bellingham as well if we win the league? Like, simple as that, man. We have to kick on. You know, we can't next season.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what Liverpool never done.
Good
They didn't
point.
build when they were at the top. I know COVID played a big part in it. It dried up all the money. But if you're ever going to invest and really go for it, when you're at the top, you're in the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? Get Kroenke to spend another 150, 200 million, bring in a Declan Rice, a Jude Bellingham. I've heard that from our man, Dan at Two Blues, Josh, that Declan Rice is a done deal to Arsenal. Have you heard that?
Really? Done deal to Arsenal?
I mean, I know you don't need him now because you got Jorginho.
Hey, you know what? He's actually been good since he's come to Arsenal, man. He's actually been all right, Jorginho.
He's been a good squaddy, isn't he?
Yeah, he has been a good squad player.
He comes from the bench and he does a good job. But what is it? What is he? He got some good sources then that he says it's a done deal then. Wow.
I don't want to give a nudge and a wink, but yeah, he said keep it under your hat. And I've just told you who's got 4,000 subscribers. So keep it to yourself, yeah.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, but
would you like that signing, Josh?
Oh, for me, it's a dream signing, and he's been. I know West Ham have been horrendous. They're probably they're going to go down, but he's been. Even their fans, like I was watching West Ham fans yesterday after their defeat, and there was like that performance against Newcastle. They got battered 5-1, but he was apparently he had one of the best performances he hasn't had in ages. So the guy is honestly what a midfielder. He'll come in and he'll slot really nicely next to Partey as well. I do feel bad if we do something because Granit Xhaka, he's been absolutely superb this season, but Rice comes in, takes his place, unfortunately, alongside Partey. But it'd be a dream signing, man. I actually love the guy, so yeah, it'd be amazing.
I
Who
think
is this
Xhaka would be
Granite?
go on, mate.
Sorry, man. I'm just going to say, who is this
No,
Granit
yeah.
Xhaka? And when I say this Granit Xhaka, I mean this season, because he's not the same guy we've watched for the last 5 years. What has happened?
It's crazy. This guy was meant to be leaving last January to Roma, and this whole thing, you know, I don't know if you guys remember against Crystal Palace, yeah, when Unai Emery finished 2-2, and my man literally swore at the fans, threw his shirt off, threw the captain's armband on the floor. We was like, oh, get out of our club, it's over. But now the change of manager, Arteta's came in, gave him a chance. This season, he's been unstoppable, man. And this man is getting into the box now. He's scoring goals as well. You know, Granit Xhaka, we signed him as a CDM from Borussia Mönchengladbach, right? And we was like, CDM or whatever. Arteta sort of converted him. He plays in front of Partey now, right? Partey sits as a CDM and he plays in front and he gets into the box. My man's got like 5 goals this season. This guy's been unbelievable. He's been unstoppable. He's been one of our best midfielders this season. And I'm happy to see him like this, man, because we all thought it was the end of him when that situation happened. But yeah, we've definitely been, we can definitely all forgive him now because he's been unbelievable this season, man.
Yeah, forgive him. I like that. Sorry, Trav, what were you going to say, mate?
No, like you said, I think I echo what Josh is saying. I think his response has been brilliant. I mean, what a story for a player to come back basically from the dead. Yeah. The fans hating him wanting a move to come and be one of the most important players in the team. I think it's brilliant. I think again, the ethos that has been created by the manager. I think if Rice comes in next season, I genuinely think Xhaka would be happy being part of a squad. Obviously, you want to play games, but I think if you want to win the biggest trophies and compete on all fronts, it's just a squad game now. I don't think you can actually definitively say this guy's a starter, that guy's a starter now. I think it's all part of a squad. You get, if you're going to compete on all fronts, you play 50, 60, 70 games a season. So you're going to need at least 18 to 20 top quality players playing all the time. So just adding someone like Declan Rice is only going to enhance and improve Arsenal squad even further.
Absolutely. And if you're going to splurge 100 million on a player, Declan Rice is exactly the profile to do so. The right age. He's a London boy. He knows the Premier League. He'd fit right in at Arsenal. Tom just said, can you imagine 2 Trossard hat-tricks at the same ground in one season? That's some good knowledge, that is, Tom. I was kind of hoping people would have forgot about that.
They drew 3 each with you, didn't they?
Brighton, yeah, 3-3. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, even Trossard, like you say, it's a squad game now. It's not just talking about the first 11. Trossard will get his starts. You got Xhaka in there. You got Jorginho filling in when he has to. Even Eddie Nketiah. Are you an Nketiah fan, Josh?
No, I'm not. But
no,
I'm not, man.
Get him out.
Look,
I give him the big build up there.
Look, this man came in because he got injured. He had like 3 good games, and then he drops 5 absolute shockers. So the guy don't do it on a consistent basis, man. And yeah, man, he's going to be leaving in the summer anyway because we're going to bring back Balogun, who's on fire in League, and he was a top recently for in that league above Mbappe and all that. So yeah, I'm going to be happy when he goes. To be fair, Eddie Nketiah, I don't rate the guy.
Fair play. That's it. We've nailed our flags to the mast with our predictions. 2 saying Arsenal win, me saying Liverpool win, and I might even put Tom's prediction in the description for anyone that watches it back. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 4. And I'm only saying that because I honestly think Liverpool are going to win, and I can cast this all up, and I might even make a short out of it later.
I wonder what the odds are on a Trossard hat-trick. I might have to have a look at that on Sky Bet, see what that's saying.
Yes.
That's not bad.
Tom has definitely just jinxed it and tempted it. Trav, Man United, Everton. Yeah. Josh says he's going to stay on with us and discuss that. How much of a confidence boost did last night give them? And are we going to see Peghorst back up front to undo all the good work from last night?
No, the Peghorst is still stuck on the bench. He's glued into the bench, mate. You can't pull him out. That's it. He's staying there to the rest of the season, mate. He's pegged in. But no, I think it was a big boost. Like I said, the pressure was starting to mount a little bit. 3 games in the league without a goal, without a win. We had to win at all costs. It didn't matter how. And I think so many things just came to light in that game about our season. I said it summed up our season pretty much with that result. Rashford carrying us in terms of the goal threat, keeping clean sheets, very solid at home, imperious at home, really. And I think I'm happy for us and Newcastle in the top 4 fight to just pull away and keep winning, to be fair. I think all the teams in and around us, I honestly, all the teams in and around us are playing each other this weekend. So this is another huge game for different reasons. We play first as well, which means we can put the pressure on the other teams if we manage to get the 3 points. The biggest thing that came out of the Brentford game for me was the fact that we sort of knew it deep down. We were so pleased with like Weghorst's attitude, endeavour, that we were just giving him games just on that sort of merit, nothing to do with his actual footballing ability.
He's trying hard.
Yeah, bless him. He's done well. He won the raffle. We'll give him a few more games. Do you know what I mean? He won a raffle, so let's give him a few more games. But now I'm just delighted the fact that he came out of the team and we just had more fluidity, more like cohesion and attack links. Martial coming on as well in the game. I think it just bodes well for this last part of the season, the business end, where we're going to need players who can run in behind and stretch teams. And we have to go and win games. We're still in another 2 competitions. Draws aren't enough at this stage of the season. It's just about winning. That's literally it. The performances, you can sort of put that to bed. It's just all about getting the 3 points. And I'm confident going into this Everton game that, again, we'll have enough against a tough Everton side, because you know what they're going to be like. They're just going to sit back. Sean Dyche would love a point in this game just to sit off, play on the counter-attack all game. They're going to play 2 banks of 4, which is going to make it difficult. But again, I think Wednesday was a big result for us, and I'm confident going into this Everton game.
The thing is, Everton are a weird one, aren't they, Josh? I mean, you know more than anyone recently. They obviously had the new manager bounce with Sean Dyche, but how on earth did Everton beat Arsenal? Because they are absolutely tragic this season. You must still be fuming. And if you go on to lose the league come May the 30th or whenever it is, you'll look back at a result like that and think, why? Why does God hate me?
Nah, it's true, man. When we went to Everton at Goodison Park, right? We was all well confident, you know. We was like, oh, it's gonna be an easy win, you know. Everton just had their manager, you know. Sean Dyche is in there though, and what Everton did well was that all they did was just outmuscle us. Like they had more aggression and they wanted it more on the day. And I don't know if you guys know about Onana in midfield for them. Right?
Animal.
He bullied us at Goodison Park. Absolutely bullied us. Bullied our midfield. Dictated everything, and it was mad because they just deserved the win, you know. And if Calvert-Lewin knew how to shoot and score, right, they would have beaten us 3-0 comfortably that game. They missed chance after chance after chance, and we went to attack with our Saka and all that, and we just couldn't break them down. You know, they defended so well, and maybe they'll do the same thing at Old Trafford. It's at Old Trafford, isn't it? At Man United. Yeah. But when they tried the same thing at the Emirates when we played them 2 weeks later and we backed them 4-0. So it's a bit of hit and miss team this season for them. But of course they beat us. Fair enough to them at Goodison Park, but it'd be a good game.
The thing is, they've got injury problems of their own, haven't they? Calvert-Lewin's in and out all the time. He's like a tampon. And then, but that Onana, I noticed him because we played Everton just after Arsenal. And I remember thinking, and I said it on a stream, if Onana performs like he did against Arsenal, he will bully our midfield all over the park. But luckily, we got away with a win. It was 2-0, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was 2-0. And Decore suspended as well. He picked up a red card against Spurs, didn't he? So that's going to be a massive blow for them because he normally sits in there with Idrissa Gueye and Onana, and that is a powerful midfield. I think with Decore missing, I think they'll probably go with, I don't know, someone like a Tom Davis or something. I don't really know how much squad depth they've actually got, but I think Everton need everyone and anyone that they can in order to sort of fight at the bottom. And if they've got key players out, they're going to find it really difficult at Old Trafford. I think especially with the fact that now I expect us to go with more or less the same lineup. We might make a couple of changes with one eye on Sevilla, but we'll have plenty of rest before that Sevilla game, to be fair, because that's next Thursday. So I can see him probably going with the same sort of lineup on Saturday. He might make 1 or 2 changes, but the key for me is that he keeps the same sort of front line. Bruno played a lot deeper as well. It was Sabitzer that was the one that was joining in, and Bruno getting on the ball, dictating the tempo of the play. I think we'll see a similar thing on Saturday morning, to be fair.
So basically just no Weghorst and you're flying.
Yeah, just no Weghorst, mate. That is the main thing. That is literally going to be the main thing. But I think even more so in this game than the Brentford game, because these are just going to sit deep and just plug gaps. We're going to need quick movement, quick combination plays, 1-2s, overlapping fullbacks, and just dominating the game and sustaining attacks. That is going to be the way we're going to beat Everton. So I think it's even more important that we play Rashford, play Sancho, players with pace that can get behind and cause Everton trouble on the back foot, turn them around as much as possible.
What was the score in the reverse fixture at Goodison?
We won 1-0 and Cristiano Ronaldo scored.
What was it where Anthony scored? Was that in the FA Cup? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? You beat them in the FA Cup.
That was at Old Trafford, I think. But yeah, at Goodison, we won 1-0. It was Cristiano Ronaldo that scored off a mistake, and he just rounded the keeper and put it into an empty net. I remember when he was doing that celebration with his hands and stuff, falling to sleep. So it was one of them, yeah. But yeah, another tough game. That was a tough game at Goodison. Everton always make it tough for United. I mean, it's Everton sides over the years have always been very competitive. We're used to Everton, especially under the likes of David Moyes and stuff, fighting for the top 6, top 8. They've never really been this bad. So it's strange to me to see Everton down there fighting at the bottom, really. I mean, they've had their years where they've obviously fought at the bottom as well, but I've always associated Everton being quite a positive team on the front foot, Leighton Baines being a handful at Old Trafford, like Fellaini, Tim Cahill days, just really being a tough nut to crack at Old Trafford when they come. So they'll make it very difficult for Man United. I'm not underestimating them at all, but I just think we'll have too much quality for them on the day.
Should be a good game. Thom just put in the chat, Nketiah out, Osimhen in. Are you having that, Trav? I thought Osimhen is your guy that you really want.
How much are Arsenal spending this summer? Flipping out. Rice, Osimhen.
Rice and Osimhen.
How much money have they got? Are they selling the stadium or something? Flipping out. Osimhen. Wow. If Arsenal do you know what? That's the thing. Just going back to Arsenal briefly as well. They've not even got a striker that scores like 15, 20 goals a season as well. Like, it just goes to show how many goals they get from other areas. Yeah. I think that's what Man United lack as well. Because apart from Rashford, Anthony, Sancho, Bruno, those boys, they're not scoring enough goals. And Arsenal, they've got Saka, Martinelli, Trossard, who are all more or less in double figures, all 3 of them. So you can see the difference in terms of the firepower. I mean, our goal difference is single digits, which is poor for a Man United side. Just goes to show how well we've defended. Because
it's only because we slapped you 7-0 though.
Yeah, true. And City put 6. We held 6 to City as well. So we've held a lot of goals this year on the road. Brentford 4 as well. But I think at home, this is where we come into our own. Old Trafford's become a little bit of a fortress again. We've got some good results at home. We've lost 1 game at home. That was Brighton the first day of the season. So yeah, I do think United will get victory on Saturday lunchtime.
It'll be a good game. Are you watching it, Josh?
Yeah, I'll probably watch it. Is it at 12:30?
Yeah, the 12:30 game.
Saturday. Yeah, I'll probably watch it. Yeah, I think you lot are going to win. You know, as you just said about Old Trafford, it's like us for the Emirates record. You know, we're amazing at home. Same with you lot. You're amazing at home as well. So. Yeah, I think we know everyone, you know, Sean Dyche, we know about him. And to be fair, he did well at Burnley. I know he got relegated in the end, but he did well to keep them up, you know, for those seasons. And he's an all right manager. So I think he'll just about keep everything up. But I think you're going to comfortably win this, in my opinion.
Yeah. Go on in. Give us a prediction for score, Josh. And I'll put it in the description.
I'm going to go with a 2-0 Man United win. I think Rashford's always going to score. He's been on absolute fire this season, hasn't he? So, yeah, Rashford and... let's go with Bruno as well. Why not?
Trav?
I'm going to go 3-0 United.
3-0.
Couple for Rash.
I'm going to go 3-1. I think you'll concede. Trav, we done a TikTok with you slagging off David De Gea. and a short saying you wanted him out. And then did you see that kick last night against Brentford?
What, where they nearly equalised from it?
Ivan Toney closed him down. I thought, oh, come on.
Oh, yeah, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Mate.
What was he doing? I thought if that went in, that's our next short there. I would have tagged it on the end of you saying his kicking's abysmal and he doesn't command his 6-yard box.
It's just, honestly, he makes me so nervous just watching him. Do you know what? I spoke to my mum about this the other day because she thinks I'm too harsh on De Gea, which I am in some cases. I love the guy. He's been unbelievable. To the point where I think post-Fergie, he's probably been our most consistent performer. But the way the game's evolved, we just need someone who's going to command their box more and better with the distribution. Like whenever a crosses come in, he never comes for them, ever. He always leaves it to defenders to deal with. And if there's a mismatch, we'll more than likely concede or he has to pull out a save. And then with the kicking, like you said, big example yesterday, we nearly concede, just smashes it straight into Ivan Toney, closes it down, it just goes wide. It just sets panic through everyone. I think, do you know when we get a top keeper, you'll see a lot more sustained attacks from United, and it will come. I'm hoping it's going to come this summer, but with this little contract dispute over whether he's going to take reduced wages and be the starting keeper or not, I think it might be 2 seasons time we get another keeper, which would disappoint me a little bit.
Trav's mum is an Arsenal fan, Josh.
Oh, let's go.
She's a big gooner, mate. She's a big gooner.
Yes.
I don't know why Trav doesn't support Arsenal then.
Yeah. Nah. My mum used to like sort of watch me play football as a kid and that, so she's always had a soft spot for the Gooners and that Thierry Henry and stuff, and like always liked how Arsenal played football and stuff. It was more the football that was easy on the eye to my mum, so she's always liked Arsenal and stuff. So she'll be nervous come Sunday, believe me. She hides it well, to be fair. She's been hiding it well recently, saying, I'm not going to watch the game. But I think she'll be nervous on Sunday, bless her. So let's hope Arsenal get the W for her, man.
Yes.
Absolutely. Lads, that's just short of an hour. Josh, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to return the favour and come on to yours anytime you want. Just invite me, send the StreamYard link, and hopefully this is the start of a beautiful collaboration for the next 20 years where Liverpool, Arsenal and Man United have equally scooped around 7 league titles each, and Man City have been expelled from the league due to FFP irregularities. What a 20 years that would be, lads?
Wouldn't it be nice?
Lads and ladies, if you've been watching this far, don't forget to smash that like. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe if you like what you've heard. Head over to True Gooner. It's in the description. Give Josh a subscribe as well. He's making waves, got nearly 4,000 subscribers.
Wow.
So I feel fortunate to have him on the channel with us tonight. But yeah, listen, all the talk's been done. Roll on Sunday. And let's see what happens Sunday by 6:30. I'm actually out on Sunday for a few beers, so I won't be on any streams or anything after. But depending what the score is, Josh, I'll invite you on Monday. I presume you'd attend if you win.
Mate, if we lose, I'm gonna go and hide him, bro. I'm telling you.
Change your name to True Scouser. Right, nice one, lads. We'll see you all in the next one and have a great Easter weekend. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.